Today, we're talking about sound. I'm going to show you a really easy way to improve the audio quality of your videos. Now, right now you're hearing audio from the Tascam DR-07MKII. Now I'm going to drop that out. Now you're hearing the audio from the camera I'm shooting this video on. Hear the difference? The other thing to notice is I'm untethered. Well, not completely. But we're going to take a close-up look at the Tascam DR-07MKII. I'm going to show you how to get this thing set up. It's super simple. But first, I'm going to show you how useful this thing is in different contexts. We're going to get into all of that coming up next. So one of the more obvious benefits of this setup is the fact that you're not bound to your camera. So you're untethered, right? So you can move around, it gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of what types of shots you can get. And for me, it just makes me a lot more comfortable because it's one less thing I have to worry about. I don't have a shotgun mic mounted to the top of the camera that I have to make sure I'm within whatever the distance is, 3 or 4 feet or whatever it is, to make sure you get good audio. I have a lav mic running underneath my sweatshirt, and I have the Tascam. It's connected to the Tascam, which is in my back pocket. So I'm completely free to walk around and I can do stuff like this. And I think it's amazing. Now I'm going to drop out the Tascam here and there so you can hear the difference in the audio coming from the Tascam and the audio coming from the camera. So you can probably hear some of the ambient sound. There's birds and stuff. I would imagine that more of the ambient noise is reduced using the lav mic and the Tascam versus what you're hearing from the camera, the native mic in the camera. But it's an absolutely beautiful day here today. We finally got some good weather, so I'm going to be doing quite a bit of filming outdoors today. Okay, now in the opening of the video, when I mentioned that this is an easy way to improve the audio quality of your videos, I meant what I said. I should have also mentioned that it's a great, inexpensive way to improve the audio quality of your video. Now, you will have to sync up your audio in post. That's the one thing. So some may say, that's not really easy. Well, it's relative. Now, if you're using editing software, most editing software has some feature or function where you can sync up the audio easily. Adobe Premiere Pro has a super easy synchronization feature, which makes this a very simple thing to do. The other thing you can do is you can, when you start recording on your camera and you start the Tascam, what you can do is you can clap or you can make some type of demonstrative sound in the beginning. You'll have a spike in your audio levels once you get into your software, and it's just a matter of lining up those peaks between the camera audio and the Tascam audio. Okay, sounds, if you're new to this, it might sound a little more difficult than it actually is, but it's super simple. But as you can see, I'm nowhere near the camera right now, and I'm doing this just to prove a point of how great this is. I'm super comfortable right now just chilling, just hanging out, and I have confidence that I'm getting great audio. I'm gonna read a few things to you guys here, a few quotes, few good quotes. A man can no more diminish God's glory by refusing to worship him than a lunatic can put out the sun by scribbling the word darkness on the walls of his cell. Aim at heaven and you will get earth thrown in. Aim at earth and you get neither. All right, one more. Education without values, as useful as it is, seems rather to make man a more clever devil. That's some deep stuff, y'all. That's not me, that's C.S. Lewis. Okay, that's C.S. Lewis. So if you're familiar with the Chronicles of Narnia movies, that's the guy. Okay, so now we have the DJI Osmo Pocket. We're shooting at 4K 30 frames per second. I do have a ND16 filter on here, and looks like it might be a little underexposed, but we're gonna move around a little bit. These are Skyreet, they're budget indie filters. I'll probably be doing I will be doing a review of these if I haven't already, and I will link that in the description box and put a card up. And I actually have the Osmo Pocket on a selfie stick, which is something I recommend. In order to do that, you're going to need a adapter, something that you can put the Osmo Pocket in that will then allow you to mount it to a tripod or a selfie stick. It needs the, what is it, the 1/4 20 thread. I will also be doing a video on that too, so I'll put links and everything so you'll be able to get access to those. But anyhow, the purpose of this video is to compare the audio. Now, I'm actually pretty impressed by the audio quality of the Osmo Pocket. It actually produces really good audio, but we're gonna compare how it sounds in relation to the Tascam. So I still have the lav mic here. You know, one thing I've noticed, that this thing does lose me in terms of the face tracking. It loses me quite a bit. So I'm not sure about that. This is the latest firmware, so not real sure what's going on there. But this is the audio, this is how it sounds. So if you're not real happy with the audio that the Osmo Pocket produces, this is an option for you. I think for me, boy, did it lose me again? It lost me again. Wow, that's pretty bad. There I am again. I don't know, maybe it's because I have the hat on or something, I don't know. But anyway, like I was saying, for me, I like to keep my audio consistent, so I think I'll be using this Tascam for pretty much everything. But you know, if you went with just the audio produced by the Osmo Pocket, you can't go wrong there. But I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect out of the Tascam. And it lost me again. I did turn my head, but let's see if it'll pick me up. There I am. Are you picking me up? You're not picking me up. Okay. Wow, can't say I'm too impressed by the face tracking. It's doing pretty good now. Okay, let's try a different context now. So, we are in the car. I'm gonna let the windows down. Really nice today. I've got the sunroof open as well. So we definitely have some ambient noise, some background noise here. Excuse me. So I've got the Tascam. I'm mic'd up here. I've got the Tascam on. It is recording me with my lav mic. So you can compare how that sounds in relation to the Osmo Pocket mic. So I really like this this Tascam. It's similar to, you know, the Zoom H1 and the Zoom H1N. You've probably heard of those. Those are more popular. Same idea. I went with the Tascam because I felt like I would get more bang for my buck. The Zoom H1N, I was gonna get that one, but it has a little dial on it where you can change your gain easily, but the problem is you can't lock it. So if you put it in your pocket or something, which is what I do with my Tascam, if you put it in your pocket, you could accidentally change your gain, and that could mess up your audio. So I went with the Tascam. I'm glad I did. I also went with the Tascam because you can change the configuration of the condenser mics. So you can switch them from the XY configuration to the AB configuration, as I showed you before. So, but anyway, that's what I wanted you to get an idea of what it sounds like when you're in the car. All right. Okay, I'm gonna help you get this thing set up in just a second, but first let's take a look at the recorder. Now, it does have a plastic build. It definitely feels light and plasticky. It doesn't feel as cheap when you put the batteries in, which gives it a little more weight, so you feel like you're actually holding a quality device. So just keep that in mind. When you first pick it up out of the box, you're gonna probably be like, dang, this feels cheap. Now on the top, you have the 2 condenser microphones for both mono and stereo recording. So you can adjust these in what you call an XY position. This is the XY position, which will give you more directional recording, right? Or the AB position, which is out like this. This is going to give you more, it's going to pick up more of a wide range of sound. So if you're trying to pick up ambient sound or background sound or whatever. Okay, and here's where you plug in the microphone, right here on the top. Now on the back, it does have a 1/4 20 thread, so you can mount it to a tripod. Or you can also mount it on your camera using a cold shoe mount. It has a speaker here, so if you want to play back what you're recording, it's not the best speaker, but if you want to just make sure you're picking up your audio, it's a great little feature there. Now it takes 2 AA batteries, and you get 2 in the box, so I'm still using those. But keep a couple AA batteries with you in your camera bag or whatever, just in case you need to replace those. Okay, now over here you have your headphone jack. Okay, you've got a hold switch here, so you can lock all of the buttons so you don't inadvertently stop or start recording or change settings by mistake or something like that. On the other side, you've got your micro SD slot, right? And it does come with a 2 GB card, so you don't have to worry about that at all. And 2 gigs is plenty. So, so like I said, you get everything in the box you need to start using this thing. The only thing you're going to need to provide is a microphone if you're not going to be using the built-in condenser mics. Okay, and there's also a mini USB port here, so that'll get you connected to your PC so you can move your files over, your audio files over. Okay, let's power it on here with this button here. Hold it down for a few seconds and you'll see it power on. Okay, now I'm not going to go through all the settings. That'll bore you to death, and you'll get used to it as you start using it. But what I'm going to do is show you how to set the device up for recording, and I'll show you how to set your audio level, which is extremely important. You want to set your levels so you don't get any clipping, and I'll show you that in a second. Super simple. All right, first thing you're going to want to do, click on menu, okay? Make sure you can see this, okay? Then hit the play button. That's like your enter button where you see record settings. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay, click on that. And these are the settings you're going to want. You want your format to be, your format to be WAV 16-bit, sample 48K. Your type is going to be mono. Unless you want to record in stereo, like if you're recording with the built-in mics and you're recording some ambient sound. But mono is what you're going to want, because if you record in stereo, especially if you're doing like YouTube videos and stuff, it'll be pretty darn distracting. So mono is what you want. Size, whatever the highest is, and I believe that's what is it? I can't see what that says. That's 2 gigs. So that's the highest. Just set it there. Mic power, you're going to turn that on if the microphone you're using does not have its own power. I have a condenser. The lav mic that I have is powered by a little battery, so I have that off. And apparently you can damage the mic if you don't have that set right, so make sure. Low cut, 40 hertz. Pre-record, have that off. Auto tone off. Tone seconds, just leave these as is. Tone volume, don't do anything there. And leave everything else where it is. So what I showed you, that's all you want to change, okay? All right, let's get out of there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to set your audio level. What you're going to need to do is, if you're using a mic, connect the mic, okay? Because you're going to need to see where your levels hit as you speak normally, okay? All right, so plug that in. Now hit the record button once, and it doesn't start recording when you hit the record button, which is a great feature, so you can't make a mistake and start recording. But what it's going to do, it's putting you in this this setting now where you can see your levels start to go up, and you can see here negative 31 dBs, negative 29, so on and so forth. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is use the left and right buttons here to increase your input level, okay? And I am kind of far away from it, so that's why I have to adjust this so much. But what you want to do is you want your dBs to fall within -9 and -12 dBs at its peak. So your highest, volume in terms of your audio that you're recording, typically your voice, right? You don't want it to exceed -9 or -12, okay? And I'm going to take this back down. I had it set nicely where I want it. But anyway, this is going to be different for everybody. So that's why you put in your mic, and once you set this one time, as long as you're using that same mic, you shouldn't have to set it multiple times. I like to keep mine at about -10 dBs. That seems to work well for me. That's just going to give you a good buffer so that you can avoid clipping. And you can boost your sound in using any kind of audio software or programming, your editing software or whatever. So that's it, man. I'm not going to bore you all to death with this. Just start using this thing, man, and you'll see what kind of benefit it's going to bring you in terms of audio improvements.